We're going to sew our bag together, and once we do that, we're pretty much going to be done. I'm going to try and back up a little bit so that you can see. Here is your lining. Your lining is inside out, okay? And here's the hole in the bottom for those so that you can flip it. Before you attach this lining, please make sure you have a hole in the bottom of your lining, or you're not going to be able to flip your bag right side out. Okay, so here's your lining. The piece with the pocket is facing the back. Okay, make sure that your piece with the pocket is facing the back. I don't know if you can see the stitching there for my pocket, but it's there. Make sure that one is facing the back. And then here is your exterior. This piece with the flap goes in the back. Okay, and I'm going to show you like so. Here is the lining with the pocket so you can see it very well. It should match up with, as you insert this piece, the piece with the flap should match up with the pocket in the back of your bag. Otherwise, you're putting your bag together backwards. Okay, so again, here's the pocket and the lining. Okay, I'm going to hold it just like that. Here is the tab or the flap on the back of the bag. Those two pieces, those two sides go together. So I'm going to go ahead and shove that in here. Okay, here you go. Now again, you're seeing the flap so that you know, and then you see the pocket stitching so that you know we're putting this back to back. So make sure your flap is down inside the bag. Now, when you get to the side, of course I have these little tabs, but most of you are going to have an actual strap. Make sure your strap is down also inside the bag on both sides. Okay, that's very important. The first thing I do is go ahead and match up these side seams. Again, having good side seams, matching seams, is very important to having a professional looking bag and even a professional looking garment. If your seams don't match, people are pretty much going to say, oh, she made that. And you want to make a bag that looks good enough for them not to be able to say she made that. You want them to wonder. At least I do. And by the way, this bag is for me. Okay, so here I go. Now those are my sides and my strap is in there. I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. Here's my strap. I'm going to make sure it's down inside the bag. And I am going to line up my seams like so. And pin. Okay, and pin there. From that point on, you're just going to have to kind of stretch the bag around and go ahead and pin around the whole length of the bag. I like to start with the back. The more pins, the better here. Because what you don't want is any catches and in your stitching. You don't want. Okay, so here we go. And sometimes you may have to kind of stretch it to make it work, but that's okay. Okay, another pin here. Okay, so that's that side. Then I'm going to go on the other side of my flap. And again, I'm working on the back part so right now. Okay, and now there's the back. Okay, that's all pinned up. Just turn your bag around and go ahead and do the same thing to the front. It's easier, it's best if you start in the middle. Okay, to the back. It's best if you start in the middle and then work your way up. That way you can kind of stretch out your fabric and work out any kinks that you may have in it. There's nothing worse than starting at the end and then getting to the other side and realizing that things don't match up. So there's my pin in the middle. And as I said, I don't really like to use a lot of pins, but I am here just so I can show you ladies that it's better to go ahead and pin this more so you can't overpin, in other words, on this particular part. Okay, as you're pinning, make sure you're smoothing the under edge with your fingers as well. Okay, so I am all pinned, and now I'm going to go ahead over to the sewing machine. There I am, all pinned up. See? There we go. That's a better shot. Okay, that's your exterior bag. That's your exterior fabric inside. That is your lining fabric, and they are pinned together, right sides together. Okay, I'm going to pause here, and I'll meet you again at the sewing machine.